Well, unfortunately for us, the shots we made the other night, the shots we've been making, they didn't go. We didn't get as many attempts, and we probably spent a little too much time trying to drive and create things rather than just make it simple and really drive it for that next kick. I think we're conscious of trying to get fouled, and we knew that the foul line is so important in this game, and it's so important to Purdue. They're undefeated when they win the free throw game, and they got that again tonight. But we missed a lot of the shots. I mean, they looked down. They were right there, and it'd be one thing if they were all challenged, and unfortunately for us, they were open. And we took a few that weren't right. Took a few we'd like to have back, but that's going to be part of the game. We gave up too many points in the post, and it wasn't just the post-ups. It was the rebounding, and we did not rebound the way that we needed to. And our front line did not. It's one thing to give up the points, but we've got to get some defensive boards. And so the defensive rebounding, it hurt us. It definitely hurt us. And we can't play along that front line and have Emmett, Collin, and Hunter combine for 2 boards. That's not going to get it right. So we've got to keep. We're capable of better, and we've got to do better, and we will. So it's unfortunate on a great crowd and great energy that we fell short. They played hard. We played hard. We could have played a little smarter, but the bottom line is a couple of those shots go down, it's a different story for us. And at the end of the game, when it was a 2-point game, we wanted to come and push and get into a pick and roll, and we should have done a better job of waiting for the screen and then making recognition. And again, it's not about the 2 or the 3, because we wanted to push, and then if it wasn't there, we'd have time for a timeout. And but we got to let the screen get there, and let the I think it was James at that point get to the corner, so it creates the space. And our theory is usually in that kind of a situation, in a break play like that, just get the spots and get that screen in the middle of the floor. We were having good success with the screen in the middle of the floor. But it didn't get there. We shot it a little quick, and then we didn't get the board. So, but that's part of it. You know, we want to play with freedom. That's part of it. So, go ahead.
Like early, the first 8-10 minutes, the game was faster. I think more, and then they sort of slowed it down, turned it more into a half.
I think we slowed it down, unfortunately. I don't know if it was them as much as we did. I think we weren't. I should let you finish your question. I'm sorry.
No,
go ahead. I don't think we weren't moving the ball as quick as we needed to there, and it seemed like we were sitting in that 23 range for a while, and no question we were trying to dribble. We were trying to create some contact. We were trying to get them moving rather than just do what we do. And in all honesty, I probably should have subbed a couple guys, and I probably should have got Yogi out at one point there because he was trying to do too much with the ball, you know, rather than just let it happen. But we figured it out, and we usually do. And just when we complicate our own matters, and that's what we don't need to do. You know, when we're playing a simple game of drive, kick, play to the corners, cut, move, we're pretty good. You know, and when we don't do that, we make it harder, and you have to move them. They're big and long, and they play good help defense, and they're always protecting the big guys. They know we want to attack them, but you've got to attack them off movement, not off, you know, 1 or 2 passes. And in the first half, our big problem, we were 111 from without using the paint, and that's a recipe that's not good for us. And when you don't have a true post-up game like us, you've got to get through the paint. You've got to play through the post. And we just didn't do enough of that, and we hit that little lull that you're talking about where we didn't do enough of that. Mike?
Yeah, you had score was tied, and they got 2-3 layups right in a row there.
When I call timeout, you talking about in the second half? Yeah. Yeah, and as I subbed, as you might remember there. Yeah, we that was not by design. So that was not by design to let them come down the lane. And we needed to do a better job of standing our ground there. Is that the question?
Yeah, so just all the people in the zone, guys in the zone.
Yeah, it was moving out of the way. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think it's any big secret. You watched it. I mean, we didn't stand our ground. I mean, when they're coming down the lane, you've got to have better. I mean, you're in a zone for a reason. And at that point, it was a 1-3-1, And so you've got to play the middle. You've got the middle and the back. And we're not in that defense. We're not really going to the corner with that back man. So you just got to stand there and take your ground. That's why I subbed. Or hold your ground. That's why I subbed there.
Tom, 47 minutes all your bench tonight. They scored 2 points. Is that tough for 90?
Yeah, you know, I haven't really studied the box score as much. So, yeah, it's not good. That's not as good as it needs to be. But I haven't really looked through that. I'm a little more concerned about the rebounding because I think we missed open shots. But that we've got to get better rebounding out of our front line. Again, when you're dealing with the front line the way you are with them, you've got to do a better job of limiting to one shot. That's why when we've had success, we've out-rebounded people. We've held them to one shot for the most part, and then we get some offensive boards. So I'll go through the box score later and as we watch the film and see how that shapes up. But that's my initial thoughts on it.
You mentioned the rebounding. What changed between the Minnesota game and tonight? Was it just a 7-footer, the aggressiveness? What changed?
Well, it's a different game, for one thing. You don't pick up from where you left off, for another thing. The ball bounces differently. That's another part of it. But I would probably say that we weren't as aggressive on the glass as we needed to be, and I think we missed some blockouts. But again, I don't want to say that wholeheartedly till I really look at the film, but my memory serves me correct. We missed some blockouts. But it's hard. You got to get when you're dealing with big guys, and they're really doing a good job of focusing. And when we guarded the three, you think you hold a team to 2 of 18 from the three, you're going to probably have a pretty good chance to win the game. But we didn't do a good enough job of limiting them. And when you're in position, you got to get everybody into the glass. So, without seeing the film, I would say that would be an answer to your question. Every game is different, but I would say we probably weren't around the rim as much as we needed to be when the shot went up.
I realize things can happen. It's probably not exactly right what happened. Honor, and how do you sort of get to sustain that first 8 minutes or not really look at the confidence or what's sort of
Well, I think the whole thing for Hunter comes down to consistency. I don't think there's any question about that. We're not gonna move forward with 1 rebound, 17 minutes. And offensively, he was pretty good. And he's just gotta. There's gonna be some fouls. I mean, there's a lot of contact. They're aggressive. And bottom line, he's just got to continue to. He's got to hit people. He's got to use his second and third reaction, second and third effort to go up and get balls. And you know, you're playing defense. A shot goes up. You just got to go up and grab the ball. So, you know, he'll get back into that. But we've been, you know, even when he was healthy, we were a little bit by committee in there, and we have the ability to do different things with Colin. And at times, Stan defended that post pretty well. So they're hard to deal with, and those two are hard to deal with. And again, it's not the points tonight to me as much as it was the second shots, because that's such a high percentage shot. You know, if you work and you try to be aggressive to make it a tough first shot, and at times we did, at times we didn't. But the second shot, those were pretty easy shots, and he was a part of those as well.
Coach, you addressed in the first half, you had your biggest lead, 20-12, and you went on 11-3 run. You did the same thing in the second half when they had their biggest lead at 8, and about 5 minutes later, you went on 11-3 run. How were you able to accomplish that?
Well, the flow of the game was just, I mean, I don't have a specific answer because I don't have the running scoring total there. I would say we executed pretty well. And even when we were missing shots, I felt good about that. The only time I was most upset when they got the layup and the dunk down the middle. I mean, that just can't happen. But we got that adjusted. I mean, we toughened up and we got better. But I would just say when the ball is moving and when we're making that quick pass and we're making it 1 dribble early, which is a big thing for us, big thing to me, then we're better. But I got to go back and look at the flow of the game to give you a more specific answer. I don't have that photographic memory. I'm sorry. Well, I don't think it's. We didn't take that many threes. I don't think it's going to change. We're going to stop shooting threes, and we missed open threes in a big sense. I think that we got to get some rebounds, some offensive rebounds. Colin Hartman didn't have an offensive board. I mean, 17 minutes, no rebounds. I mean, some of it's bounces, and we'll watch the film. But I think we'll see that that our hustle on the glass wasn't what it needed to be. So again, it's offensive rebounding. It's making the next pass. When we got in the middle pick and roll, we got a lot of good stuff. And I don't want to take anything away from their win. I mean, because they earned it. They did a really good job. But we missed some open shots, the bottom line. And so we come out of a timeout, and we're running an action. We slip the screen. Robert's got to drive right to the lane, but he tries to throw it back to Troy. You know, and Troy's not free. The play's for Robert to go. I mean, sometimes with young guys, that concentration, you know, and that focus when it's going fast is not what it needed to be. You know, so I mean, those are a couple things that would have given us a basket. It might have given us a three somewhere, right? So the bottom line is when the ball's going through the paint, I think I said this before about the other night, there was only one play that was really designed to get a three. And that's it. Everything else was off movement, spacing, flow, back cuts, next pass, transition, offensive boards, whatever it is. That's the biggest thing for us. So it's really not a number of threes or a number of twos. It's just getting through the paint and getting the best shot.
Coach, the last 3 minutes, one guy took all your shots. Was that by design?
No, I think that's probably just the way it happened. Okay, thanks.